Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be kind of wrapping up the last couple of months and how things have been going, weigh-in, check-in, my plans for the month of August, which, you know, we're a couple days, I'm filming this on August 2nd. I plan on getting it up for you. Actually, I may try to upload it today. I have some time before I have to head out to do some errands, so depending on how long it is, I may be able to get this edited and uploaded today. Let's kind of briefly, I'm gonna try to make this as brief as possible, but y'all know me, I like to talk. Briefly, you guys know that I have not done, I don't think, a weigh-in check-in since the end of May, and that was because I have been struggling with the scale and just being obsessed with it and all of that. So I made the decision to step away from it just for my health, for my mental health, knowing that I'd be going into a couple of months of just really pure craziness as far as work, travel, family, you know, things like that. And so as I went into June and July, I just figured, you know what, the scale's the last thing I need to think about. So I put it away. My plan was to put it away till the end of July. Well, then I don't know what happened. It was just like, you know what? I woke up one day and I'm like, okay, I have got to get more active. And that's when I started my 30-day walking challenge. So that's a whole other video that I'm going to actually wrap up after I'm done wrapping up this video. So you'll see that in the next couple of days. And some of that information that I give you in this will be a little redundant in that. But anyway, so I decided to do that, but I thought to really chronicle a good, you know, like, is walking actually beneficial for weight loss? Is walking good for my, you know, all of that stuff? Because that's just what I wanted to see, because I've never really committed to a full, like, walking routine for any amount of time. I've done it here and there, but never, you know, a habit of it. So I knew I would probably have to step on the scale, do some measurements just to be able to say, yes, this is working for me. And so I did step on the scale, I did some measurements, and so that's where we're at. And then I stepped on the scale today, which it is August 2nd, but Friday is my typical weigh-in day, and I did do some measurements. The measurements were, I feel like this is kind of going into what we're going to do in the month of August. I have been holding on to a lot of inflammation, mainly I think just for menopause. My whole entire month of, and a little TMI, because this has a lot to do with what my goal is for August. My menopause symptoms have really increased this month, which is so interesting that it was June, July, and August last year that they kicked really in high gear, and that's when I started really trying to figure out what was going on, and that's when I figured out that's what it was. So until yesterday, I have not had a cycle since the end of May. So it'd been like, I mean, according to my tracker, it'd been like, I don't know, 60 some days or something like that since I, you know, had one. And so, but the entire 2 months, it always felt like I was going to start. So that's one of the most annoying things about perimenopause, is that you pretty much have to carry feminine hygiene products with you everywhere you go. So I had to take them on vacation with me. I had to take them on my work conference trip with me, because I had no idea, because it just felt like every day felt like I was going to start. Every day I would have just insane cramps, and then they would go away for a few days. So it'd be like 3 or 4 days of, okay, it's finally going to start, and then they just go away. Or I'd have this intense craving for just like sweet stuff, and you guys know I'm more of a salty, crunchy gal. And then but I know when I start craving, you know, chocolate and sweet stuff, because that's just not my thing, okay, here it goes, you know, no. So, and the other thing, I've been just a lot of hormonal ups and downs, the inflammation out of this world. Like, it has been so bad, mainly like it's interesting, because it's like the bloated feeling in my stomach, so it's like kind of like you think you're going to start your cycle, but then like in my legs, just, you know, just a lot of inflammation on my joints, you know, all of that stuff, which is really kind of what made me decide also to get up and start walking, was because of my knees and all my joints, and my knees and my hips are just real tight. I was just like, I got to do something. So all that happened. So I would say the measurements I was a little disappointed in. I only lost when I measured for May, I don't think I measured in May. I can't remember, but I couldn't find my May. I only could find my April measurements, and I'm wondering if I didn't record them in my little book, because I have my little, this is actually like supposed to be like kind of like a meal planner, but it's like an everyday planner. And I could only find March and April. I could not find May's, but I could have sworn I measured in May, but I'm wondering if I had them like in my phone or on a piece of paper. Sometimes if I don't have my book, I'll just grab a piece of paper out of my bedroom and write them down when I'm in the bathroom measuring, you know, so I couldn't find them. So I could only go off of April's and then June, of course, when I took June's. But I didn't have a lot of movement. But I do also notice that I lose more measurements when I'm doing more strength training than I do in any kind of cardio stuff. And I was doing more strength training, if you guys remember, back in March and April, and some of May I was doing, you know, just more like the YouTube workouts. I was doing my dumbbells, and I was doing those more regularly. And I do notice that I tend to lose inches when I do that stuff. So that's something to keep in mind for me. I don't think I'm not gonna add that to my August routine, only because August is going to be really busy for work, which is actually, though, why I think what I am going to do is going to be make it a little bit easier to do because of how busy work is. And I'll explain that here in a second. But as far as the scale, it actually was really good. So this will be a little like preview for my walking challenge video. But from June 30th to today, which is August 2nd, I lost 8.2 pounds. And that was really just primarily focusing on getting that walking in. You guys know, I had two big things. You know, I had a long weekend, so a Thursday through Sunday with my family at the beach. I did not watch what I ate. I indulged. I did not worry about it, but we did do a lot of activity, of course, at the beach. A lot of beach walking, a lot of walking up and down stairs, you know, so that could have, you know, negated some of that stuff. And then I had a 3-day work conference where they just constantly feed you from morning till night. And again, I didn't worry about, you know, all that, but I did again do my walking in between all of those days as well. So, and I got a lot of steps in at the conference center because we had a lot of walking we had to do. But 8.2 pounds. So I am really, really pumped for the next phase of the challenge. Now, also, that brought me, on my Weight Watcher scale, it goes, my Weight Watchers like weight tracking progress, it goes all the way back from when I completely started Weight Watchers. But that's the reason why I wanted to be able to track from the beginning of the year on, because I just wanted to start fresh this year, as you guys know, just combating perimenopause, being healthy. You know, and I kind of told you guys, I'm not focusing as much on like weight this year right now. I am focusing because when I went and saw my doctor in March, that's what he kind of told me. He's like, right now, you know, let's just not completely focus on weight. Let's focus on trying to figure out what you can do for your body to help with this hormonal imbalance. It's not imbalanced enough. He doesn't even want to talk about hormone replacement therapy. It's not something that it's something that we have talked about that we don't want to do at this time, and I don't think it's warranted at this time. I've talked to people who have taken it, and their symptoms were way worse than mine. And then some people didn't have a lot of good experiences with it. I know everybody has opinions on it, and I think we should all respect each other's opinions on that. And so please respect mine. I respect yours. I know people have taken it. Fabulous. I just personally don't want to, at least at this time. I may change my mind years from now. Who knows? But he said, let's just focus on what you can do for your body, taking some supplements, what you're eating, how much you're eating, you know, getting that water in, getting the movement in. It was really a movement he was really pushing me, and he was really pushing me for the walking. It only took me from March to July to do it, but you know what? Baby steps, right? But on the app that I track, that I started January 1 is the Happy Scale. I've used that many times, but I reset it I reset my account to start over because I really wanted to do the progress for this year. So from January 1 to July 31, and this may not be a lot for some people. And you know what? Like I said, let's just be kind. Let's not, worry about, how much one person is lost versus another person. We're all different. We're all different ages. We're all different sizes. We're all different heights. We are all different places in our life. We all have different stress levels. Some people work, some people don't. I mean, there's just all kinds of things that can affect a person's weight loss. But I have almost hit the 30-pound mark, and it's just like, it was like 28.6 pounds since January 1. 28.6. I'm like, dang it, so close to that 30-pound mark. But you know what? I'm still happy about it. That's 7 months in the year. I've almost lost 30 pounds. And you know what, y'all? Last year, I ended up breaking even. When I did a December 31 weigh-in or January 1st weigh-in, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the January 1st weigh-in. And I remember telling you guys this, that I broke even for the year. So I just maintained weight last year and the year before as my body has been going through this perimenopause. That's the reason why my doctor was like, don't focus on the weight, because I was kind of complaining about it at my doctor's appointment, and he said, you know what, you can't do that. Right now, let's just figure out what you can do to make you feel better. And so that's what I've been doing. But it is kind of, it's kind of encouraging to see 30 pounds. And it's just like, now I need to make sure that I continue going, because I don't want to have another year maintaining, but I also want to kind of heed his advice and like, okay, let's focus on how to get rid of these symptoms, because it's been so bad the last 2 months. So I had some people reach out to me. Some of you reach out to me, and I at first was like, okay, why are so many people telling me about intermittent fasting? Like, I've done it before. I never had like really a bad experience or a good experience. I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of like something I tried, and it was just like, oh yeah, this is no big deal. I never really like did it for a long enough period of time, I think, to really form an opinion on it, on how it made me feel. I mean, I think at the time I was doing it, it was a few years ago, and I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, this is not bad, but I can't recall actually very many specifics. I have a really bad memory anyway, so I can't really recall how I felt about it one way or another. But I was like, I said, right now I'm not focusing on weight loss, is what I was telling people. And they're like, no, we're talking about for your menopause symptoms. So I had at least 5 people reach out over on Instagram. So if you ever want to reach me, that's the other thing. A couple of them actually reached out on Facebook first, on my Facebook Messenger, through my Journey to Healthy page. But I have a message on there that if you message me on Messenger, it even says I don't check this account often, so please send me a message over on Instagram. I probably wouldn't even have a Facebook if it wasn't for my book club. Honestly, I'm not like over there all the time, and I don't notice my Messenger thing. So anyway, if you ever want to, reach out, chat, have questions or whatever, especially if it's something you don't want to just put in the comment section, reach out over on Instagram. I do see those messages. Sometimes I'll get them when I'm at work though, and if I don't respond right away when you see that I read it, I'm sorry if it takes me a long time to get back to you. But I had several people, and I'm like, really? Like, I had not heard that before. You guys know I've done a ton of research on menopause and perimenopause, but I'm really mainly focusing on like, what kind of foods can I eat? What can I do to, what is this? What is this? Is this normal? Is this not normal? What should I do? But the intermittent fasting, I had no idea. So I did a ton of research over this last week or so about intermittent fasting and menopause. And there's some studies out there, mainly for the inflammation. So it said if you're really struggling with inflammation, with perimenopause inflammation, that the intermittent fasting is really good. If you're really struggling with like maybe your stress levels, and you notice a lot of ups and downs with your moods, that may work out for you. And that is my number 2 things right now. Inflammation and my moods are so bad. It's so up and down. And it has just been driving me crazy. So I am going to try intermittent fasting for the month of August. I actually started it on Wednesday. So I actually started the 31st, and I did it 31st and the 1st already. And I did record 1 day of what I eat in a day with that. And so then here we're at today, which is only 7 o'clock in the morning. So I actually ate, I actually, because I was working from home yesterday, so I was actually able to eat dinner really early last night. So I was done with dinner by like 5:15, 5:30 or something like that. I actually ate at my desk when I was still working because I worked till about 5:30 last night. But I went and I made something to eat real quick and then sat down and ate. So I was actually done. So I could break my fast today because I'm doing like a 16-hour fast. So I could actually break my fast at 9:30 today. I don't think I will because I have a bunch of stuff to do. But so that's kind of my plan, is to do a 16-hour fast. My kind of initial plan is to try to stop eating by like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at the latest, because my lunchtime when I'm working is at 12. But I'm actually kind of thinking that it's usually about 11 o'clock, I think, is going to be kind of my sweet spot, because I can like always break my fast with like my protein coffee at 11. Then I'm not drinking my caffeine so late in the day, because I've told you before that caffeine triggers my hot flashes. But I do miss my protein coffee, which is funny because I really wasn't drinking it much this last week because it just wasn't sounding good to me. That's the other thing that I've been really struggling with, is like my tastes right now are so off. It's just like my usual things that I go to, I'm just not wanting. I'm not wanting yogurt, not wanting cottage cheese, not wanting my protein coffee. I don't know, it's really weird. So when I kind of hadn't had those things for a while, now I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would love some yogurt. But I didn't go grocery shopping the last 2 weeks because I've been gone the last 2 weeks. And so, or gone, the weekends, the long weekends, and then during the week for my work conference. So I haven't really done any good grocery shopping in 2 weeks. That's why I haven't seen a grocery haul. So I haven't had any yogurt, no cottage cheese. I drank my protein coffee the last 2 days, and I broke my fast drinking my protein coffee, and it actually was amazing. So it's like I'm finding my newfound love for my protein coffee, because I haven't had anything to eat, for 16 hours, and here I'm breaking it with my coffee, and it's amazing. So that's kind of my plan. Stop eating at 7, break my fast at 11 with my protein coffee. I'll just take the protein coffee components to work, keep it in my fridge, break my fast, and then I come home for lunch and have my lunch, and then we go on with our day. So here's what I have struggled with, though I do remember struggling with in the past with intermittent fasting, was there's a few things that happen. One, it gets a mental block where I say, because I can go no problem without eating in the morning. I've done it quite a few times, with just being busy at work or busy at home, and you just kind of forget to eat breakfast. But as soon as I tell myself that you are fasting, my stomach will start growling. Like, it is such a mental thing with me. So that's one thing that happens. And it's only happened one day in the last 3 days, so it hasn't been too bad. The other thing that happens is I can find myself eating too few calories, which is kind of what's happened the last couple days. I barely hit 1,200 calories the last couple days. However, my doctor really told me to focus on the percentage of protein and fats that I am getting in my day and my fiber. So protein, he wants me to hit about 30 to 35% of my day with protein. He said that really helps with menopause stuff. Getting the extra fiber in, because he said that's good always for women. Fiber, helps keep you full, keeps you regular, all of those things. And then he goes, healthy fats are so important, and some people just will not, have them. But he's like avocado, just really healthy fats. So, and then of course, he didn't really mention carbs at all, but he just was telling me, just make sure your day is like 30 to 35% protein. And it has been, even though so I'll hit like 100 and something, like I think there was one day I hit 112 grams of protein, or 107 grams, something like that. My calories were only 1260 for the day, but my percentage of protein was 38%. So I was still hitting that, and I was satisfied, and I was fine till the next day. Like that whole day of eating, the next day I had no issue waiting and breaking my fast at 12 o'clock. It was, or 11 or 12 o'clock. It was just fine. So obviously my body was getting what it needed. The third thing that can happen, that I noticed happened to me, was overeating, overindulging, like thinking, okay, I'm fasting. Like, it doesn't matter if I have, I don't know, something that I normally wouldn't eat all the time. Like, I have to keep like potato chips and anything really crunchy and crispy and all of that, like crackers even. So that's where I found myself yesterday. You know, I could go overboard. I don't think there's anything wrong with eating crackers. I don't restrict anything out of my day, but I can go overboard with those things, and especially if I'm fasting, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, you've shortened your eating window now you can just go crazy. And that's what I want to be careful of, because it is something that I have seen myself try to do in the past whenever I have kind of played around with fasting. So those are the things that I kind of want to watch out for. Now here's why I think August was a really good month to do this for me. For one, coming off of this walking challenge for the month and having this really great weight loss and this activity. And again, I'm not going to go a lot into the walking stuff because I'm doing a whole video on that, so you can watch that video. But I needed a challenge. So I think that's number one thing. It's just like, you know, going challenge after challenge. It's motivating to me, especially after the success of the walking challenge. This is really motivating to go into this intermittent fasting challenge. But the other thing is, starting on August 12th through August 29th, my work days are going to be, this is our probably our second busiest time of the year. Actually, it's probably our first busiest time of the year, but it's just busy, and I'll tell you why. I work in schools. You guys know I work with schools, and I work in HR, and we provide services to small school districts around our area. We have 13 school districts in our county, so we have a lot of school districts, even though we're a small county. Our county is we have 120,000 people in our county, something like that. So the area we live in, I mean, these are little tiny towns that have maybe 400 kids, 600 kids, 700 kids. They're smaller, and that's for the entire district. So these are smaller ones that can't afford to purchase HR services. So schools, if you did not know, have a week before school starts where the teachers go and they do trainings, and they call it in-service week. We go for one of those days of their week to every school district. So and then plus we have our own in-service day for our agency. So we have 7. We support 7 school districts, and then we have our own school district. I'm pretty sure that's right. So we have 8 in-services that we go to, and so literally, our first one starts on the 12th, and it's just they're usually in the morning. So the thing is, I will be the first one, it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. So literally we have to drive there. So we'll have to all meet at 7:30 and so then none of these districts are close by. There's actually one that's a 2.5 hour drive away. That's what happens when you live in rural Oregon. Things are kind of far away, but that's actually in a different county. But anyway, so we have to meet and we drive. I'm not going to have time. I mean, literally here getting ready for work, meeting at the parking lot, heading out. We won't be done until 11 o'clock, which would be around the time to break my fast. So by the time I eat, it'll be time to break my fast. Same goes that next week. Then we have our own, we do all of our new hires. We do them all in a little orientation. So again, that's at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it'll go till 1. So again, we'll be busy getting ready for it. I'll have zero time to think about food and or anything like that, and I just want to stay hydrated. So then the week of the 19th, we have them Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they're all the times where it's going to be, I'll have no problem with that. Then the next week, the 26th, we actually have a back-to-back. I probably won't even eat on the 26th until hopefully 2 o'clock, because we start at 7:30 in the morning, and we have to go back to back to the school. So I may be able to grab a bar out of my purse or something like that around 12 o'clock when we head to the next school. And then that Tuesday, I don't think we have anything, but then we have it Wednesday and Thursday. And we have ours on Thursday. So I really foresee this was probably the best month to even introduce this to myself, because in the past, I would think, okay, that may be hard because I'm going to be all over the place, but I'm going to be in the car, so I'm not going to really have access to food unless I bring it with me. And so you guys, I just figured, this is the best month to introduce it to myself and to see how it goes and to do for the challenge. So that's why I think I can be pretty successful with the intermittent fasting. But anyway, as y'all know, I did not keep it short and sweet like I planned on it, but that's okay. I just wanted to really talk about, it's been a long time since I sat down and kind of did an update video for you guys. So let me know. I've already had a few of you reach out to me on my video that I posted with the intermittent fasting, what I eat in a day. I know tons of you are jumping back into it as well. Let me know if you do it. I know a lot of you already do it. What are the benefits that you see? And I'm just so excited to try this and to see what happens and see if it helps with my symptoms and helps with my inflammation and all of that. So here's to another monthly challenge. I hope you guys are all doing well. Let me know how you guys are all doing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.